Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Yeah. Being broke does not stop anybody from having sex. Yeah, and I've talked about this before about you not really needing money to get a woman. Now, ironically, this post was inspired by at least somebody who had a female name. And at least somebody who had a female name. You never know on here, though. On here. And it was on a video I did about women wanting sex. About women wanting sex. I'll put a link to that video in the description box. And this commenter was like, well, what if someone is broke though? I'm like, so what? Broke people have sex. You know what? It's funny because you get so many guys thinking, well, you gotta have money and status up there. Usually those middle class guys who ain't been in a hood, trailer park, whatever. Man, they be fucking in poor areas. They don't even have money. In fact, I shouldn't even get pushback when I be saying dudes be getting sex without spending money. And sure as hell, women be getting. They don't even need money. That's not even in there. But shoot, you be going in some of these hoods and whatever, and the women they be getting down with some broke ass dude. They don't care. Sex is sex. Now, if you got money and status, yeah, you might be able to get a certain type of woman. And you talking in certain areas. But you see, then you talking about acculturated prostitutes, or as the Honorable Pimp guy calls them, acceptable hoes. And you talking about tricks, but there's plenty of people globally be having sex, don't be having no money. In fact, that's one of the things, like a few weeks ago, I talked about that whole birth rate thing. Yet, the birth rate isn't an issue in places that are in poor countries, poor areas and whatnot. What? Seriously, it's stupid to even think. Sex is sex. Sex is sex. In fact, when I thought about that, I thought about where I used to live. Y'all remember I used to live in a more modest apartment. And I remember one of the reasons I said I had to move, I found out later there was a lot of Section 8 people in that in that area. Quite a few in my building. And there was this one woman, she was definitely Section 8. She didn't have a job, anything. But one of the things that annoyed me, and I'm going to say this annoyed me, because I used to have to get up real early to get to work when I was working a full-time job. I'd be leaving and it'd be like some homeless dude coming out her place. And she was still fucking. People fucking. There was another woman across from me, a young lady. She had somebody. She ain't work at all. Had a child, everything. And I knew another woman that was in that area. She lived in that area. We were cool for a bit. I ain't gonna get into why we stopped being cool, but she was definitely, she would work, but she wasn't working on no race job. And some guy who didn't have a regular job working, coming in and out, tapping that shit. Look, sex is sex. Now, if you want to pay for it or whatever, some people want to pay for it, want to pay for what they feel to be more attractive women. But let's just be real. It ain't about money. Especially you get a lot of guys talking about some Pookie and Ray Ray. Pookie and Ray Ray are broke. They don't have money. Now let me be clear on something. Because every time I will talk about this, somebody will say, well, he's saying being broke. No, that's what you're projecting. Because I have a whole money channel. I've said several times, a man need to be making money for himself. But don't think you making money to get pussy. That's the one of the worst things. A man, he need to be making money so he can have that nice place to lay his head, drive car around, do the things he want to do. He's doing it for himself. Because, shoot, even when you get some of these women out here, even if they got a rich man, who do they cheat with? What's that stereotype? You get a rich woman cheating with the pool boy. The pool boy don't got any money. Or you got that big thing with hobosexuals. You get some guys, they don't even got shit. And they got a woman taking care of them. In fact, I've seen that. Shit, sometimes you be seeing a woman driving a nice car, got a guy in the passenger seat, and how much money he got? That's a big thing. But see, here's the whole thing with it. It's about sex. Sex ain't, you don't have to have money and status. Shoot. If that was the case, we wouldn't have any population issues. And even though you had some people complaining, that's on another level. But usually if you get some people thinking that, oh wow, yeah, you gotta have money to have sex. Well, no, that's a trick. That's a trick right there on a culturated prostitute. There's been plenty of people out here. Like in the area I'm in, you got some money here, but also got some folks who just barely making it. Whatnot. They barely making it. They still fucking. In fact, I know a whole lot of young ladies just in this area over the years. Single mothers. Oh, and let's be clear. Before somebody try to throw some racial bullshit in there. And I do mean racial bullshit. These are white girls. Single mothers. They not making money. They fucking. And their baby daddies, they ain't making money like that. Seriously, I don't know why people ain't thinking that. People thinking it's only on. I mean, come on, that's stupid. In fact, that's stupid. Use some common sense out here. Shoot, you can drive through any poor neighborhood. They don't have money, but you'll see a bunch of kids. Apparently, they're fucking. They got visible evidence of it. In fact, you used to be seeing some of those poor moms get 3, 4, and whatever. And you could try to say, well, maybe they getting welfare or something like that. Yeah, but when they were fucking a dude originally, that dude didn't have money. And the women sure as hell didn't need money. Sex is sex. If you want to get sex. Now, instead of thinking about the money part, what somebody should be thinking about is, how are they doing it? How are they doing it? And don't get mad. In fact, I had a video, one of my old videos, and Rom don't suffer fools. Somebody going to actually comment, they ain't listen. It was somebody I was talking about Pookie and Ray Ray. They ain't even want to listen to the video and what I was saying. And what I would always say is, instead, that tells you, when you see somebody who don't have money, broke, whatever, and they probably don't have those looks or whatever, they still getting some. The smart thing to do, and I do mean the smart thing to do, is figure out, okay, what are they doing? Because obviously, there's more to it than just spending some money or having some status or even looking a certain way. Because let's be real. You're talking about somebody broke. They probably don't have that much, but they still getting some. So what are they doing? What are they doing? That's the game right there. They just connecting with the ladies. Learn how to do that. It could be the ladies like how they look. Okay, that's obvious. But obviously they talking to the ladies. They doing something. You can learn from it. Because like I was saying a second ago, some guy saying, on some dumb shit. I had Pookie and Ray Ray in the title and some dude trying to come up with some shit talking about, well, I ain't even going to watch the video. That's a dumbass motherfucker. And I hope he hear this shit. That's a dumbass motherfucker. Why don't you listen first? Now, if you listen, and hold up, let me go on a tangent real quick. Listen to my entire video. Don't ever go just by the title. Never go by. Find out what I'm saying first. In fact, there was another content creator, a big content creator, got 1 million subs. He tell people, "Hey, did you listen to the whole thing first?" And usually ain't somebody I normally listen to, but they had a good point. They had a good point about it. Listen to the whole video first. And when you're talking about stuff like some dude getting some without spending money or money not being involved, instead of just pushing that away or acting like, oh, something wrong, it's like, come on now. You got these broke people, you go in poor areas, shoot, the women keep some babies. Keep some babies. They fucking apparently, and they fucking some dudes. They fucking some dudes who ain't got money themselves. Who ain't got status themselves. Anybody, and it's usually somebody who going against it, usually don't live in those areas. So they not qualified to talk about it any motherfucking way. They ain't living in those areas. They ain't been in those like gully areas. So how would they know anyway? They stuck into what they're about. Now they might think they have to spend money, but then you get some dudes who ain't spending money, ain't doing shit, still getting it. The smart, like I said, the smart thing to do is figure out what they're doing, what they talking about. And don't look at the women talking about, well, there's something wrong with the women. No, ain't nothing wrong with the women. Apparently, common sense means there must be something more to it. And it's more than just having money or status. And shoot, even in many cases, even having like drop dead looks. And it really does, in many cases, come down, man, shoot, they want to have sex anyway. Or when I talk about the my bad man don't always have money. He ain't spending money on the woman. Let me talk about that for a second. Usually when you get those women and they'll marry a man, they will marry a man who got money, got all that stuff. The man they cheating with probably don't got shit other than a stiff dick. Let's just be real with it. That's all he got is a stiff dick. Because when women cheat, they ain't trying to go out on the town. Think about it. I want y'all to think about that real quick. Why would they get a guy with money? What the fuck he gonna do for him? They can't buy any. If they with a man, they can't buy any gifts. They can't take any gifts from the man. They can't take any gifts from the man because what's gonna happen when their main man sees them wearing like even certain clothes? Even certain clothes. They can't have any gifts. They can't have any jewelry from that other man because then their main man is going to say something. They can't have anything. Shoot, they got their main man for the money, and the only thing that they need the cheating man for, the side man for, is some good dick. Because a woman can't show it. So when a woman cheating, shoot, she ain't gonna have any evidence. A smart woman. And the only time she gonna have evidence is when she wants to be caught. But most of the time, she does not want to be caught. And I want y'all to think about that. That's how you gotta look at it. That's how you gotta be. So what is it that the side man is doing? He just bringing us some dick. Because women want, they want that hot beef injection. They want the sex. And shoot, you don't even need money for it, and even your place. Shoot. I'll tell you what, even in recent years, online, got with a woman, she paid for the hotel room. Even as a 50-year-old, hooked up with this woman, she paid for the hotel room and everything. She paid. Might have been more than that. There was another woman who was like ready to go out, say she was going to come to the area. She had paid for the room and everything. But that wasn't about how much money I was making. That was about the woman who she wanted to get with. And even then, we could have went past that. You didn't even have to do that, really. See, the thing is, get money off the picture. It ain't in the picture. Somebody want to hook up. Shoot, I knew this woman, she said straight up, she got with this dude in a park. She told me, she said, yeah, I hooked up with him in this park. Look, if a man and woman want to have sex, they just want to have sex. That's all to it. That's all to it. All that other stuff, that's some bull. That's some coke. In fact, I would say that's some coke. Somebody don't have money or status or something like that, or even looks. Is that the same? Nah, it ain't the same. It ain't the same one. I was thinking that was that big-legged woman I saw the other day. But if a woman want to hook up with somebody, if a man and woman want to get together, they getting together. Because if you get these poor-ass, broke-ass dudes out here getting some, you are men and women. You get some homeless dudes getting some. You get some hobosexuals getting some. Apparently, common sense means there's more money. There's more than money involved. And that's the key. That's the key. Figure out what they're doing. And then you don't have to be, ain't saying you got to be homeless. You shouldn't be homeless, really. You should be making money, getting your own pace. Your own space. Your own pace. Your own space. You should be doing your own thing. You should have money because you want to have money. You want to take care of stuff. But if you're talking about getting sex, you're talking about getting some pussy, shit. You should just figure out what the guys who ain't doing it, figure out what those guys in the HODD are doing. Just go with the spelling. The hood are doing. Figure out what those guys in the trailer park are doing. Figure out what those guys in the res in places like Brazil are doing. Or shoot, if you want to look at whole countries, you got some poor ass countries, but they got kids like crazy. What the fuck they doing? That's all you have to figure out. Apparently, the shit they getting some ain't spending money. Don't have it to spend. Definitely don't have status. So what they doing? Say sex. That pleasure is bigger than anything. In fact, if you have a business involved in sex, that's one thing that's not going to get, well, if it's actual sex, it's not going to be hit too much. There's what they call the stripper index. If strippers, they realize if they not getting money, well, there's a recession coming. But a lot of them ain't fucking a dude. They getting their money just from dancing in front of a dude. But hoes, straight hoes, they still getting these. They still getting these. That's how important it is. And see, they paying. And see, part of the problem is you got a bunch of guys got that trick mentality anyway. And they think just because they paying, everybody gotta pay. Nah. People be fucking for free out here. And we know it. Come on now. Come on. It ain't something I have to tell you. It ain't something I have to talk about. If you don't see that, you need to get your ass out the house. You need to see what's up, what's out here. I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to think about that. Think about what's up. No joke. Yeah, what's coming here? Oh shoot. Got a rotisserie Peruvian chicken coming. Yeah, I was driving past that the other day, but the sign was kind of gone. Peruvian place. I give it to, just real quick, I give it to those Peruvian motherfuckers. They be making money. And I know all that stuff, they talking about immigration and stuff, man. Man, I wish I had a dime for all the businesses around here. Got some immigrants working there. I wish I had a dime. I don't give a shit if ICE hear this shit. They probably know it too. Anyway. Just use some common sense, y'all. And I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. People around here be getting theirs. They just getting theirs. You know, it ain't something you gotta think hard about or anything like that. It is what it is. All you have to do is think, okay, if they ain't spending money, what they doing? And they making a connection. They tapping into what people really want. Anybody who's like stuck into thinking there's only money or status, usually they some middle class dudes. It was like, or men and women really. Take your ass to the hood or something. Take your ass to a trailer park. Ask yourself, why are these people getting this? That's all you have to do. Damn, they taking dogs into the post office now. Yeah, people don't play anymore. Anyway, y'all know I ain't gonna have anything this weekend for y'all. Car video anyway, man. My usual Sovereign Men video tomorrow, and then my inspirational stuff on Sunday. All right. So y'all have a good weekend, okay? But use some common sense with that. Broke people be fucking like a motherfucker out here, all right? So anyway, I get back with y'all. Peace.